switching from an alien bee Balcar mount to Bowens. Coming up. Hey, this is Scott Weidenkifowitz, a storyteller with a camera talking about all the things photographers like you and I are thinking about. In this video, we're going to talk about how to switch a softbox from the Balcar mount, which the alien bees and the white lightnings and the Einstein lights use, to a Bowens mount, which is more universal, and the Godox light is using it, so it's time to switch. So both the Bowens and the Balcar mounts are very easy to use. The Balcar mounts have these two little pinchers right here, and when you squeeze it, it basically releases a clamp on the inside that you can then take off your light modifier or the cap or things like that. And it's nice. The downside is that it's a little flimsy. It's not very secure. So when your light modifier is on, it actually might have a little bit of wiggle depending on the weight of the modifier, because it's literally just spring-loaded, and that's the only thing really holding the clamps with tension in place. So the heavier the modifier, the less tension the springs have, and the flimsier the modifier will be on your light. And basically the back end of the Balcar looks like this. It has a groove, and then those clamps will actually connect. It will go on the inside of these grooves and catches and whatnot. But you can, if you really want to, pull off the light modifier with a little bit of force. So I want to switch this piece, what you see right here, from Balcar to Bowens. Before I go about switching up the actual mount, I want to show you what the Bowens mount looks like and sort of the advantage of the Bowens mount. The Bowens mount has this sort of double lock system. The first is there's actually a switch at the top, at least on this light. Some there might be on the bottom or the side, but there's a switch that you actually need to sort of pull that button back a little bit in order to release the lock that holds the modifier in place. Then there's also a twist. You hear that loud clunk? That is a twist of actually taking the teeth that are in the modifier out of the grooves. And there is what it looks like. You can see the teeth. And you can see that basically you line it up, you slip it in, and you twist until it's locked in. It's not going anywhere. You've got the twist that keeps it in place, plus you've got that extra lock pin, which I'll show you on this light, is right here. So I would pull it back, twist, and pull the modifier off. I'm going to leave this off for the time being so you can actually see what I'm about to do when I switch it up. So this is a Paul C. Buff Octabox, and it's basically a softbox that is shaped like an octagon, and I want to switch up this flange, this piece, this metal piece right here, that actually is the Balcar mount, with a Bowens, and here is a new flange. Now, there are many of these out there from many brands, so you can find them at a variety of prices. Sometimes they are harder to find than others. I'm going to link to the one that I purchased. I got it from Amazon. I have 2 softboxes from Paul C. Buff, so I ordered 2 of these that I can convert. It was $11 each, which is much less expensive than actually buying a whole new Octabox or some sort of other modifier. Now, what is really nice that what Paul C. Buff did is they actually put in these little thumb screws. I don't even need any tools to switch it up. All I need to do is unscrew these little thumb screws, and then there's 2 washers on each screw, one underneath and one on top. So there's this little white washer right on top that has to come off as well. And basically, I'm going to take off all 4 of these thumb screws, and then you'll see the flange will pop right out. Now, it's important to know that there has to be a washer underneath and on top, and the reason is because first you want to be secure, and washers definitely make it more secure, but also you want to make sure that there's some sort of twisting going that is available, so that when it's mounted you can actually turn your light modifier. Now, this actually does not fit 100% perfect. You'll see that if I bring it to one side, there is a little bit of a gap. As you can see right through it over here, there's a little bit of a gap. So it's not perfect, but it is going to be in there. It is actually going to be secure. I just got to make sure it's on top of all of the washers. And there we go. And then we put the other washers on top, and we use a thumb screw to tighten it down. Alright, so now this light modifier is actually a Bowens mount, so I can actually attach it to the new strobe, and it will fit perfectly. Now, because this doesn't fit, it just proves that Policy Buff and other companies, they don't want you to interchange what you're using it with. It's just some companies are retrofitting, other flanges and whatnot, but really the whole thumb screw thing from Policy Buff was really for them to do repairs, for you to be able to, if your Balcar mount gets broken, you can replace it fairly easily. It's not really meant, the design of this is not meant for you to actually switch brands, so that's why it's not perfect. So there we have it. I got a Policy Buff Octabox on my Godox strobe, and yeah, like I said, it's not perfect, but it does the job. And as long as nobody is holding themselves, adding tons of weight to this, it's gonna be fine. I got one more to do. If you like this video, click that subscribe button below now. I publish new videos every Monday and Thursday, whenever possible. You don't wanna miss it.